The real way to ignite academic potential and confidence has nothing to do with motivation. You've probably heard or even said this yourself. If they could be more motivated, they'd be less overwhelmed. If they could just be more motivated, they would excel. If they would just do the thing and care a little bit more, everything would be fine. And that is an appealing story because it gives us hope that there is some switch to flip. But motivation is not the magic wand we think it is. Now, let's say that your young adult has been doing the work and going to class, but doesn't do well on tests. You see them staying up late, doing what appears to be studying. They're rereading their notes. They're clicking through online practice games. But if they're not studying the right way, they're not really learning the material. They think they are, but they're not. So when they get a poor test grade, they think, well, that was a waste of time. Like, studying doesn't work. And when a student goes through that experience over and over again, sometimes for years, what happens to their motivation and confidence? Of course it tanks. And when that tanks, effort tanks too. Now imagine you're giving your best at work, putting in all the extra hours, but you're consistently getting poor reviews and no one is telling you how to improve. Would your motivation tank? Would someone yelling at you to want it more help? Of course not. We have to treat the cause, not the symptom. I'll bet if your student could map out their study sessions on a calendar and had total clarity about what material to learn on what days, they'd finally realize that studying does work. And they would do it. I'll bet if they came out of a class with a notebook full of effective notes, they'd be more motivated to turn those notes into study resources that actually work. And then they'd be motivated to do that because they know it works. When we fix the skills shortage causing the pain, progress returns. Motivation follows that. Because motivation isn't the input, it's the output. We can't force motivation. We need to empower our kids to be able to move forward, to take action, and be the source of their own motivation. And I can hear you asking me, sounds good, but how do we do that? Well, by addressing the underlying skill deficit that's keeping them in their negative feedback loop. Motivation is not the answer. Skills are. This point is so critical to understand if you're serious about supporting what's really going on with your kid. Now, because skill deficits are often the root cause of low school motivation and confidence, personalized feedback is essential for students committed to building those skills. That's why I provide a full year of monthly Q&A opportunities to students inside my program, SchoolHabits University, so they can ask me questions and I can keep them on track. And as they get personalized feedback on their skills grow, and so does their motivation and their confidence.